Hello everyone, this is Isaac.
And this is Taryn.
And we are True Masters and Morons. But wait, I hear you saying, aren't you two men and a mic? Not for long.
We're changing our name, logo, banner, etc. To find out all the reasons why, the story behind it, and the exact time of the changes, you can watch our explanation video here.
Thank you, and enjoy the video.
The journey so far. The cauldron was cold, but the horsemen rekindled its fire, and in the hearts of the makers, an ember of hope was born. Hope for life, and for what lies beneath the earth.
Hey guys, this is Isaac.
This is Taryn.
And we are
Two Men and a
Mic, playing Darksiders 2. I'm always excited to record this.
He is. He's like, it's time!
Oh. I don't know why I came up here.
Apparently for chests.
Yeah, I can't do anything until I get the Spirit Me ability.
Oh, that's a long time away.
Yeah. Just because, well, I don't know.
Hey!
But yeah, you need the statue me.
That's a long time away. That's like end of the game.
Yeah, this is a secret area. It's not a... Yeah.
Okay. Where are you supposed to
My
go again? why don't you...
literally around the corner. Hang on.
What corner? Oh, that corner.
This corner.
He rides!
See? Just around the corner. Just around this river bend.
Death will find his only friend. I don't know. What are we looking for? I forget.
Well, I mean, we meet the pup, Karn, again.
No, that's not his only friend. That's definitely not.
Oh, actually, we don't meet Karn again. That's right. This is the water temple right here.
Tears the mountain.
So, as we all know,
pretty.
it's the water temple, so it's going to be the most hated temple of the game.
Because the water temples always are.
And I'm trying to remember, I don't think this one was actually all that bad.
I don't think it was.
I don't remember it being terrible.
But you know what that immediately makes me think? Like an Avatar The Last Airbender kind of game that has temples in it. I mean, if there were, there'd have to be a water temple.
Mm-hmm. It's true. Actually, I played the Legend of Korra game.
Which was actually surprisingly decent, by the way.
It was really fun. And I will say this, it is one of the easiest 1,000-point games ever. I think there were literally 2 achievements I didn't get on my first playthrough.
Without
and
trying.
they were both achievements I could just run through and grab.
It was one of the. I said, and that was without trying to get achievements.
Exactly.
I was saying something. Oh, what I liked about it though was that it made the good decision, and Isaac and I have an agreement on this.
Yeah.
If you're making a game based off a movie or a movie,
TV show.
or a movie, a movie, a TV show, books are a little bit more maybe, but generally with books too. Basically, if you're changing the media of the story from static to game, or from game to static, whatever that version is, the new material is going to be better if it's new material set in that universe.
Yeah.
So to give examples, because that was kind of vague.
Yeah, because he's being really complicated here.
Basically,
Here, let me simplify what he's saying.
No, you do that. Yeah, actually do that, and then I'll give my example afterwards.
Okay, so all he's saying is, if you turn something into a game,
if it was a game first, and you turn a game into something else,
and you turn it into something else, give it a new story. Yeah. Keep the characters, keep the world, whatever. Make a new story.
Make an original story as opposed to trying to rehack the thing. And the reason is, it's not because it's going to be different and it's going to make people unhappy. But if you just like say for this game, say you take Darksiders 2 and you turn it into a TV show or a movie. Okay, you get the same set of writers, preferably, or people that have a great enough understanding that they write it with a similar flavor, to write a different story for death. You know, a great example is like the Abomination Vault, the book, right? It's its own story. It doesn't have any effect or take place with this game at all. Yeah, like the only thing that exists between them all are some of the characters that exist in the world,
and the settings, if you will.
Yeah, but then it's its own story. It's not constrained by anything that happens here, or vice versa. So yeah, and that Legend of Korra game he was talking about does that. It's a completely unique to original, the game's story.
Yeah.
That incorporates a lot of elements from the show for sure, because obviously it does.
Because it has to. If it doesn't, then it's not
right.
Yeah.
But I think it did it well. I think it had a nice, fun little, short, easy, cute story, and it was fine. But so the point of all that was, if you're going to take a game and make it a show, or a show and make it a game, keep the world, make a different story, because it will be different. And, you know, a lot of times people don't want to necessarily see a rehash anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I will say, like, one of my favorite things to go along with that is there's a game of Full Metal Alchemist before Brotherhood came out. They made a PlayStation 2 game. And it is a completely original story with it. But they just say, okay, so this is when it happened in the show. They're like, okay, so during the show, they were on this train, and they stopped at this town along the way. Just during that trip. And then it was a completely original story. None of, like, you had...
There's a chest behind you.
Thank you. You had Alphonse and you had Edward, and that was it, I think. That was it on the characters. And, you know, you obviously had the world going on, but it was just a bunch of you fighting chimeras that were created by this original villain in this original setting, just in the world that already existed from the TV show. And it's awesome. I'm trying to think now, because I know I've played them, of games that were just the show or movie turned into...
And done poorly, because they always are. Also, like, actually an example of those would be, like, a lot of the earlier Harry Potter games. Where
I'd say actually a lot of the newer Harry Potter games, if you're going to talk about that.
Well, I haven't played into the newer ones, so I can only talk about the old ones. Okay. But the deal was, like, they would base them kind of off both the movies and the books. But then, because it's a game, they'd have all this other extra stuff added into it that never took place because they needed more material because it's a game, when they actually didn't necessarily need more material, but they kind of seemed to think they did. Anyway.
Yeah, I'll say along those same lines for Harry Potter. I think the original ones were actually pretty okay, in my opinion, because they were just based off the books. None of the movies had come out yet. And so they tried to do their best to be... They were, honestly, in my opinion, more accurate to the books than the movies were.
I'm sure they were. They had more time, I mean...
Yeah. But then you get to the newer ones, and they're fully based off of the movies, to the point that they are just the movies rehashed into a game.
Yeah. And a flip side example of that would be if you've played the game Prince of Persia and see the movie Prince of Persia. Now, arbitrarily speaking, the movie is an okay movie by itself, but it was one of those where it tried to recreate the game, but then also did this thing where it changed a bunch of stuff.
It failed.
And so it changed a bunch of things, presumably because they thought it would be better to do that way in a movie. And that's part of the problem, is there's going to be things that you either have to change or people will change, so it's really better to just set the whole thing originally and avoid that problem.
Change, yeah.
Because that
if you're going, if point being, if you're going to have to change one or more things, just change all of the things and make your own story with it instead of trying to be like, oh, this is the same story, but we changed it a little.
Yeah.
Sorry, we had a train.
Oh,
it's that thing.
Earth crag. Just call it a crab, guys. Come on. It's an earth crab.
Yeah.
We all know what it is. But yeah, so like I think the Prince of Persia is a good example of what we're talking about because like when it came out, I saw the commercial and there was enough difference that I realized I'm like, all right, this is not going to be the movie. So I was able to separate.
It's not going to be the game.
Or sorry, it's not going to be the game. I was able to separate it beforehand and just you are about dead.
I know.
Man, it doesn't matter which game it is. These things mess you up.
Yeah, they really do.
Oh,
Well, that shouldn't have let me live. No, I actually remember losing to this specific one a lot, actually. So if I lose here, I'll just wait until I level and I'll come back later.
Is this not where you have to get a place you have to go?
I mean, it is a place I have to go, but it's not the place I have to go right now.
You got it halfway dead. You're good. Zombies.
I was waiting until I had enough mana.
Oh, you need... Wow, you need enough... Wow, that takes a lot of mana. Okay.
Hence why I'm doing what I'm doing.
I've been told, by the way, that the gun's ammo recharges faster if you leave a bullet in the chamber. I don't know if that's true.
Okay, good to know. I will try that.
It's behind
Where'd it go?
you. No, there it is. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot faster, actually. Oh, and he ate me!
Ouch.
Let's
give it one more shot.
Face. Give it one more shot?
Give it one
Okay,
more
I
shot.
can try. Understand that I have to kill everything else first, so...
Oh, do you have to kill everything else in there?
Yeah.
That's fine, we'll wait. Alright.
And we're back. I do have to fight everything else in this room, which is why, you know, it took so long.
Yeah, it took a whole couple
Whoa,
seconds for you.
it broke!
Well, that's a thing.
It broke that one. It can't break this one, but it broke that one. Uncool.
I mean, it's made of rock, so it stays a fairly even temperature. You should move. There you go. But yeah, so I was able to separate it beforehand and enjoyed it just as a movie that it was. And for anyone who hasn't seen it, but has played the game or something like that, or
vice versa,
it is loosely based upon the first game, very loosely.
Yeah, I'm like, can we accentuate the loosely in your voice?
Yeah, like it's actually really funny because it amusingly to me, from a character design perspective, like the actual appearance, they take his look from Prince of Persia 2, but he's very much the character and the real baseline plot of Prince of Persia 1, which is funny to me. But yeah, so they changed.
Oh, come on!
Oh.
He killed me while I was summoning.
Yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and leave here for a bit.
So what are you going to do instead of the Tears of the Mountain? That's the next quest, right?
Oh, I never said I was not gonna do the Tears of the Mountain. I just said I was gonna leave this room.
Oh, I just assumed this was like the only way forward.
No.
Oh. Well, okay then.
Never said I was leaving the Tears.
I hadn't paid enough attention to the map to realize that wasn't the only way forward. So I'm like, well, but where are you gonna go next? All right. What's it saying?
However, I was not aware at the differences, and so I went in expecting one of my favorite games of all time to come to life on screen
in movie form, and it really didn't. Like it's one of those. It's a movie you can enjoy, but not if you're expecting to see the game on screen. It's because that's not what it is.
For the longest time, I put it up there with the worst movie ever, alongside freaking Aragon. Okay? And anybody who's read the book and seen the movie knows what I'm talking about. That movie was terrible.
What I love is that they changed so many things in that from what happened in the book that it's actually impossible for the second book to occur if the first movie
exists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like the events of the second book cannot happen in a world where the events of the movie occurred, which is really funny. And also tells you how much they changed and what important things were changed, even if they didn't know they were important. But that's why when you make books, you don't change things.
You want to know one of the dumbest things about that movie, in my opinion? So there's a scene in the book where the mentor dude, he's sick, he's dying. It's a really emotional time, and he reveals that he was also once a dragon rider.
Okay.
In the movie, Aragorn comes up to his mentor dude, cuts off this like cloth thing that's covering the mark on his hand, and says, "Why didn't you ever tell me?" And then walks away. What? That's the whole scene.
All right.
Oh,
that lacks the punch for sure.
In all honesty, even from a movie standpoint, that movie was bad. At least I was able to. It took me like a year or so to finally let somebody convince me to go do it. But I did end up going and rewatching the Prince of Persia movie from the standpoint of it's just a movie. It's not the game.
With no attachment whatsoever.
No attachment whatsoever. And it is a relatively decent movie if you go in with that opinion.
It's not great, but it's fun. It's
it's not the best movie ever, but it's an enjoyable movie if you want, just a fun, quick time.
Yeah.
But Aragorn is just a bad movie.
And it's been long enough, I can't even refute or
defend it.
I can't defend or agree because it's been so long. All I remember about that movie is I remember a couple of the actors. I remember a line that one of the actors said about the movie itself, okay. And then I remember the diamond coffin thing that was cool.
I will admit the diamond coffin was actually really awesome.
They made it look cool.
It looked cooler in my head. Still, because it was a legit coffin in the book. In the movie, it was just a bunch of rocks.
No, they in the movie it was like a hole they dug, and so the diamond part was just the lid, if you will.
Yeah, whereas like in the book, he like stone shaped a coffin that she diamondified.
No, what I actually remember most about that movie has nothing to do with the movie. It's about the guy who played the mentor.
Mm-hmm.
So the actor wears glasses. Well, the character doesn't. So you would think, he wears contacts, right? No. Apparently, some movie he did years prior took place in the desert. And so he had issues with sand getting under his contacts and being incredibly painful.
Well...
That's what do you...
Oh, I know what I do.
Okay. And he was so funny because he's talking about, it's like, no, if you're doing a dragon movie, you can't wear glasses. You look like an idiot. To much my first response was, I'm like, well, first, no, not necessarily, but all right. But he's talking, he's like, and he doesn't wear contacts when filming movies because of that sand thing. He's just worried it's going to happen again. And it was like the worst experience filming that he's ever had.
I get that. Getting sand under contacts? Ugh.
Oh, yeah. Well, but so the point is, as his character... as his character has no glasses and he needs them to see, like, he's not, like, blind without them, but he's pretty close. He literally did that whole movie basically blind.
Which is impressive, because he was probably the best part of that movie.
Yeah, well, the funny part is he talks about, it's like, the sword fight scenes were hard.
Yeah.
I think he broke his thumb a couple times or something like that.
Ow!
I know! All I know is he broke more than one thing on his hand, and in the process, because he's trying to do sword fighting scenes and prop swords and whatever, sure, but blind.
Jeez. Dedication, man. Some actors are amazing.
It is dedication, but I'm also like, I saw the rest of your outfit. You could look cool with the right glasses.
You could look cool with the right glasses, like do the Dumbledore or...
And also, you're not in the desert!
Yeah, it's like, where are you gonna get the, like, it's not gonna have a storm. Chill, dude. What are we on time?
We have about 6 minutes left. But that's what I remember most about that show. It has nothing to do with the show.
No, I get that.
Hey, the gun's a great way to kill those.
Apparently, yeah, alright.
Snaps.
But I need to kill this first.
Kill the hive so it can't control the way
they move.
The way they move, that's better, yes.
Yes, I knew you were going to say you. I'm like, nope, there's a better way.
Taryn, there is a better way. But yeah, it's actually kind of funny, because I hadn't thought about it till this big discussion we've been having. But a movie that still gets a lot of flack right now that came out relatively recently suffers from a similar problem to the whole not making up your own thing. Because a problem with the not making up a unique new story in the game to movie / TV show setting is that when you do something like, say, the Prince of Persia one, where you change a lot of things, it's sort of it suffers from kind of not really recognizing its place to the audience. Because so like for you, for example, if people are going to go and see a Prince of Persia movie and it obviously looks like it's based around a similar plot, they expect to see basically that story.
Yeah.
And they didn't, so it had a sort of commercial failure due to a lack of understanding of what fans were expecting.
Yeah.
And that's and that's a similar problem, I feel like. The Last Jedi.
Okay.
Right? Gotten a lot of flack from a lot of people for a whole bunch of different reasons. I actually liked the movie. I'll go up on record and say that. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fine. There were things I disagreed with that I didn't like, that I felt like... It was sort of like the ending of How I Met Your Mother. Like, I feel like the events that took place shouldn't have happened, some of them. But with well, let me finish. But with the story that was written and how they presented it, I think it was handled well.
Okay. Yes, I agree. So for this movie, Taryn and I both huge Star Wars fans.
Mm-hmm.
As a movie, as it was written, it was handled well. Luke never would have pansied out like that.
Yeah, and that's sort of what we're talking about. So, like, minor spoilers for the end of How I Met Your Mother.
Like, really? You're going to say minor spoilers for Star Wars after it's been out for like a year?
And yes, actually, I will. The internet will freak out at you. It's like, it was out 7 years ago. It's not long enough! Shut up. But, so minor spoilers for the end of How I Met Your Mother, for those who haven't. The mother dies in the last episode. And so
it's revealed that she's been dead.
Yeah, it's revealed that she's been dead. She, like, dies of cancer or something like that. And so the last episode is a flash forward of sort of, you get a synopsis of their time together and then life after that. And I didn't like the fact that she died. I felt like it was kind of a betrayal of things. Hold on a second.
Yep. Sorry, technical difficulties. We're back.
So when about did that start? What was I saying?
You were... She died.
All right.
It was revealed that she's been dead.
Last episode, it was revealed that, she's been dead the whole time the story was taking place. So the last episode is Ted and her's life together for a few years before she dies, and then everyone's life through that and up past that.
Oh, so good.
To the quote-unquote present day. I think what they did, I don't like the fact that she died. Like, it feels, to me, it was personally like, well, then why did I watch this show if she's dead the whole time? But so I never liked that. I didn't like the fact that we spent an entire season in Robin and Barney's wedding.
To have them divorce.
Only to have them divorce in the final episode. Like, it was like, why did I watch this last season? What was the point of that? But, all that being said, with having made the choices to kill off the mom and get those two divorced, I think what they did after that was very well done. I think it was poignant. I think it was beautiful. I think the scene with Barney and his daughter is one of the best parts of that whole show. Oh my gosh,
it is. Like, I just got tingles thinking about it. Like,
yeah. So, I mean, what they decided to do was very well put together. It's one of those, like, I would rather have not seen that situation unfurl. So a similar idea with Star Wars, and I agree with Isaac. There was something about the Luke as portrayed in that movie feels like a character that somehow didn't learn the lessons he should have learned and did learn
in his movies.
In his own movies. Now, that being said, there's nothing. Having made the choice to say that's what's happened, that's what the situation is. I think they handled it fairly well. It was fine. It was fine and well put together. And we could talk more about that in a second. But back to the point of bringing that up in the first place. The biggest thing, if you crunch down all the issues you have with the movie, whether you like it or don't like it, the biggest problem that The Last Jedi has as a film is that it is a movie that is not aware of its place in a series. And because, like, people talk about part of, like, the tone of the movie was the whole, bucking expectations and saying that, like, things will fail you and all that kind of jazz. And that's, like, very highbrow and looky way to look at things and all that, and that's fine. It's not... But the bigger issue is that it kind of purposely snubs and thumbs at a lot of the older stuff. Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, is okay if done the right way. But the problem is that it's the 8th movie in a series. Because here's the thing: if you take either just that movie by itself, or say that the first 6 movies didn't exist, say that the Star Wars story, or just say it's not Star Wars, say it's something else, and it's these 2 movies. If it starts with The Force Awakens, and that's the first movie in this series ever,
it's actually kind of brilliant.
And then you have the second movie with The Last Jedi,
also brilliant. If it was not.
Yeah, the Luke the Luke Skywalker character as presented in The Last Jedi with no changes fits a very common archetype of someone who did something super important, whether they're a hero or a tactician or a healer or whatever, a big somebody who did something amazing that everyone knows about, who then sort of just dropped off the face of the earth and has decided to go all hermit-like.
Heck, Suikoden 4 did that too with Eleanor. She was a tactician.
Yeah, Suikoden 4 did that.
Exact same thing.
Like, there are examples of those characters everywhere with the hero having a very similar thing of going to find this person and bring them into the fold of things or learn from them or whatever, and the hermit being very reluctant to help, and either straight up not, but sort of unintentionally helping the hero anyway, or agreeing to train them, or whatever the case may be. Like, the Luke Skywalker character fits all of those very well. The Luke Skywalker character in Last Jedi fits that archetype very well. And so if there weren't 3 other movies with his character, there would
getting its development.
Yeah, there would be no problem. You would just look at that and go, oh, all right, he's the mighty hermit guy who's gotten very jaded because he made some mistakes and things went very badly and were handled in such a way, and so I decided to handle it. And that's pretty normal as far as the stories go. The problem is it's sort of tone deaf and clashes with the pre-established existence of the character in the world.
It literally slaps everybody's face when they think about Luke from episodes 4, 5, and 6.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but it does. It's just one of those. It's like, this doesn't feel right,
It's not right. Like, he was awesome, and he had his failures of, he already went through a lot of the darkness issues with himself and everything. So it's just, I don't know.
Because, yeah, and, another good example of that is, like, a lot of things he tells Rey about the Jedi being failures and whatnot, it's factually accurate.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing he's saying that's incorrect, but he's sort of down on things in a way that the Luke as presented in the other films never would have been. Now, all of that being said, again, I enjoyed the movie.
Agreed.
I was able to look at that and go, I was like, oh, that was, like, that part was kind of weird, and the more you look at it, the more weird it seems. But if you just watch the movie, it's a good movie. I mean, it's gorgeous. Yeah, it's not perfect, but I defy you to show me a perfect movie that's come out, A, ever, B, in the last 10, 15, 20 years.
The Princess Bride.
No, not perfect. I love that movie. Don't get me wrong. Not a perfect movie. I want to say almost fewer plot holes, but it's also a movie that takes itself and the audience takes much less seriously. But yeah, so as an actual movie, I think that's its biggest problem, but it's still a fun movie. Its real biggest problem is that it came out in a time when the world likes to be butthurt about everything because it can be. And so people I
can't argue with that.
No, like people want to be offended, and they get unbelievably offended about whatever. I mean, the things I've seen people say about this movie and about other movies, and just things that aren't important, like, frankly, a movie, and they're just the level of rage, and how dare you, and this is the worst thing, and one of my favorite memes I've ever seen, because I looked up a bunch of Star Trek ones months ago when I was trying to find a picture.
It was for the lightsaber lore, right?
No, it was when I was trying to find a picture of Picard, because we made a reference to him, and I wanted a specific picture, and I found a bunch of memes in the process. And my favorite one is there's that picture of Picard where he's like hands forth extended, like why and the meme is why the F do blah blah blah.
Yeah. All
right, or why the F is blah blah blah. And I saw that one, and it's now my favorite meme. Meme. And it's Picard there, and it's why the
language
is your childhood so easy to destroy? Because everyone's always like, oh, this has ruined my childhood, or this has destroyed my childhood. It's like, you painted this, and like, so I just love that. It's like, why is your childhood so easy to destroy? And I'm like, yes. It brought me joy and made me laugh. I feel like this guy does more damage, but also takes more damage than the other one. Would that be accurate?
Yes, that would be how I am feeling right now.
Pew! I love how you slice in death, not enough wrath. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it is time.
Thank you.
Thank you for
joining us today. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Do all the things with the liking and the disliking and the commenting of what you want to see.
If you want to hear more movie rants or less movie rants, let us know. Or the conversion theory thereof.
In the meantime, this has been
Two Men and
a Mic signing off. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like it, hit this subscribe orb.
To see our last Let's Play, click or tap the link on the right.
For our last lore video, go to the link on the left.
And for a video chosen by the gods of YouTube from our channel, hit that link on top.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.